Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. Feel free to give us a call, 612-504-8400. Visit us online at havenfinancialgroup.com. Check out all the classes, continued classes that we're big into education, have been for years. It's how we learn. It really is, Kim. And, a takeaway from that last segment, if you will, is, we're geared towards working with those that are close to retirement and in retirement. We're not limited in scope by any means. But, many people think that you just have to live with the risk of the market. It's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. But that's why it's so important to have a plan. See, Kyle and I in the investment team, it's not for us to say you should take all risk or no risk or anything in between. It's what's appropriate for you at this stage of the game. We have clients that have no money in the market. They don't need to take any risks. They don't want any money in the market, and that's perfectly fine. They're all in fixed accounts, whatever degree. I had a client this week, Pam. She's got newly retired and done a great job. And she's like, you know what? I don't want, of all my investment, I don't want more than half to be in the market. And the very next client that I had come in, they said, we want 75% of our money in the market. So it's a matter of being in the right place at the right time, because we all get a little more worried. We all weather the storm a little bit differently. But at the same time, we also do a lot of 401k rollovers. Folks that are close to retirement, when the market was up, they took the cream off the top and locked in the gains. These are the conversations we continue to have. And by having them, it gives people confidence. But if you don't have a good partner that you can lean on, and especially trust, because that's the industry that we're in too, you might not be getting that attention you deserve.
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. Well said. 612-504-8400 is how you reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. And we've been talking about it throughout the entire show. Having a partner, someone who can walk you through all of these steps, especially during these really volatile times, is so important. It's so important because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity. You don't want to make mistakes that could have long-term, repercussions. And it's also just peace of mind. So we want to talk about how a financial advisor, how the folks at Haven Financial Group can help you during these financial times that are a little off course. So number one, Kyle, we've been talking about it throughout the show, but you guys have access to more tools.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Like I said earlier, we have access to everything that's out there in the public market. So we can invest in Vanguard stocks. We can invest in Fidelity stocks. We can invest in iShares. All these different companies. Whereas, sometimes when you're at American funds, you can only invest in American funds there. We have access to everything. And then, like I was just saying about the bonds, we have access to all types of certificates of deposits and treasury bonds and municipal bonds and corporate bonds. So we have all the tools at our disposal if we need to, and they can work within the portfolio parameters that we set out from that high-level risk profile for each individual client that we have. So, and that creates that tailored solutions that we were talking about earlier as well, where we're not just putting a blanket cookie cutter portfolio on top of everything for people. Mm-hmm. We're actually customizing every single facet of the relationship to their specific goals and their timeline and their risk tolerance.
Sure. I know, Kyle, one of the things that is so important to Larry he talks about all the time, and I know that you guys do such an excellent job. You are tax aware, and you put together tax aware strategies. It's one thing to have an investment strategy. It's another to have a tax strategy.
Right. Having a tax strategy is just as important as having a good investment portfolio. The amount of money that you can save on taxes, if you do it right within your investments, is just unbelievable. When I look at the numbers, sometimes, we can help you with different withdrawal strategies. Maybe we're trying to keep our income at a certain level, and then that'll maximize our withdrawals in a future year. Or maybe we're trying to do Roth conversions at these lower tax brackets, especially when we have these tax benefits through 2028. and then we get more money into Roth that grows tax-free. And then you could end up pulling that money in a year where you have a higher tax rate, and you get that money tax-free, or you just give it to your heirs and they get it tax-free. Someone's gonna have to pay taxes on IRAs. It's just a matter of who and when. And then, we also make sure that we have tax efficient portfolios. We will, put tax inefficient investments in tax efficient accounts, and then, vice versa. And then that also produces less taxation on your 1099s that you receive on a yearly basis. So then Lance doesn't have to say that, all right, we have to pay in some money. Hopefully we get a refund instead. But we're making sure that everything is a tax efficient, diversified portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
That's well said, because taxes we're very much aware of the tax situation. We want to be proactive, not reactive. We don't want to miss Roth conversions. We want to have these conversations. And so many times their tax preparer, when we're in tax season, we're getting to almost April 15th now. Their tax preparer doesn't talk to their investment person. They miss opportunities they could really benefit. So the tax aware strategy is huge. And another one I would say is of all the many, many years of experience we have here at Haven Financial Group, I would hope we'd have some professional expertise. At least I would hope so. We stay on top of economic shifts, policy changes, financial trends. Just this week, actually more than a few times, I had somebody say, well, I just turned 72, so I need to take my RMD. Well, actually, no, that law changed to 73. And I think 6 years it goes to age 75. So staying on these things, having somebody keep you aware of what's going on. So we are proactive. So we prepare for these downturns to the best of our abilities. If you're listening and your investments still reflect you being in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and now you're listening today and you're in your 60s, probably, and you didn't like the results of major downturns, you're probably not in the right spot considering you're not that age anymore.
Sure.
We see it all the time. And you don't have to be the expert, but there should be an awareness and of understanding of what you're doing, why you're doing it. And you know what? Retirement is more than a meeting once a year for 45 minutes to an hour. In all these retirement areas, the good news is, I had one client this week. They met with Lance with taxes, they met with Glenn for Medicare, and they met with us on the investment side. They went from one office to the next office to the next office. And again, I can tell you, they left here with confidence to know they're doing the absolute best that they possibly can. And if they have questions, a lot of times when people retire and I say, pick up the phone, come on in. Let's not have these questions any longer than you have to. And at the end of the day, there's no cost for questions.
Right. And I mean, in the end, Larry, the ultimate reason to have a financial planner, a financial advisor during these times is for confidence, right? I mean, in the end, you can go home, like you said, feeling good about what you've done over a lifetime and where that is going from this point forward. And especially during these economic times when we're not sure what tomorrow might bring.
The confidence, that's huge. And that comes with education. It also comes with a partner that you can lean on. Yes, Kyle would attest that sometimes, especially in these times, we feel like counselors, if you will. There comes a lot of psychology with money. And you just a lot of times need affirmation that here's the plan. You're doing what we've talked about. And at the end of the day, with that comes the confidence that go, you know what, we're going to be just fine. And you know what? Sometimes that's all we as people need is to have somebody tell us the truth, not sugarcoat things because that sounds better, but give us some affirmation that we've already planned for this. We're fine.
Absolutely. Which is really what we've been trying to get to from the very beginning of this show. As we navigate these economic uncertain times, if you have a plan, you can certainly navigate.
That's right. So what I would say is all these retirement puzzle pieces, do you have all the pieces? Do they go to the same puzzle? Do you even know how to put that puzzle together? Or has it been a long time since you even took that puzzle out of the closet? So when I say all the puzzle pieces, estate planning, wills and trusts, long-term care, the need for it is certainly very high. Life insurance or annuity reviews, your investments, Are you tax planning that leads to successful tax preparation? All of these are not super exciting, but when it comes to retirement, knowing that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, that's what's going to give you the confidence.
612-504-8400 is how you reach the folks at Haven Financial Group. Give them a call. Give them a call this week sometime. Let them know that you heard us here on the radio. You'd like to come in, sit down with the experts, talk a little bit about what your plans are for the future, for your retirement. This has been a really informative show, gentlemen.
It has. And I'll just add, we're coffee snobs and we like good cookies as well, Kim.
And that's okay with me. That's for sure.
Me too.
Kyle Thomas has been with us. Kyle, thanks again. Good to have you with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.